Hello everybody and welcome back to Team Sanchez. My name is Humberto.
I'm Zamara Sanchez.
And we're Team Sanchez. Behind the camera, we've got GianCarlo. GianCarlo, come say hi.
He's our cameraman.
Hey. So, interesting times we're going through, right? How interesting are they? COVID-19, a little bit of quarantine, hanging out.
What is this week? What?
Week
quarantine?
110. If you're watching this, you've survived. No.
This is going to be almost week 3 for us of quarantine.
So, we've been talking about it a few times now, like here and there, and it's crazy because we keep joking about it, but it's something that comes up a lot with when you deal with relationships and when people are together. Not even just relationships, but people just like trying to live together, work together in the same place too long, and it's crazy. We're gonna go over a little bit of kind of, I guess, teamwork. What teamwork looks like, what it is, and
thank you.
Our camera guy is telling us how to sit.
That's
teamwork.
Special.
And we are going over teamwork, how that is, what it looks like, and just living together now, being quarantined together. Like, I guess a lot of people, we've noticed people like making jokes here and there about they can't stand their spouse, they can't stand their partner, and I think this is the time when these things start to like really unravel and you start to see, like she's realized, for me, I'm really grumpy in the morning.
Yeah. So
for no reason.
I feel like these times where we're forced to be with each other 24/7 as like a family, and we've become now co-workers, and we are lunch partners, we're just always together, that you start realizing things that sometimes in the runaround of just everyday life you don't notice. Like, yeah, he just wakes up really grumpy in the morning. I thought in the past it's because, we were in a rush and he didn't have enough time. But now that we're not in a rush, he's still always grumpy. And I was just like, you know what? You wake up really grumpy. But we've been living together for over 5 years and I hadn't noticed that. I mean, I noticed it, I've seen it, but it wasn't something that it was like there. I just assumed it was other things. So definitely, I think this quarantine is like a blessing in disguise. For some people, it's really bad. For some people, it's really good. But when we're looking at it from like a personal and a family perspective, you can really see like the things that we've been missing from being, rushing to work all the time. I hadn't noticed that he's grumpy in the mornings. I wonder what he's noticed from me. But
I don't want to say.
But also, like, I think a lot of people hide behind working a lot or going out, partying, going to clubs, drinking, having the perfect social life on social media, that when you take that away with government orders of you having to stay in, you are left with you and who you really are. And I see a lot of people struggling with that.
We've touched on that in the past, where we said, people can't stand being alone. People can't stand being with their own feelings, emotions, and who they think they are, and they can't stand that. So they go out there into the world and they portray whatever images they want of what they think they are, who they want to be, who they want others to think they are, and then that's kind of where they get their validation, their fulfillment, their happiness. But yeah, in these times like this is when you start to realize, who really is. I don't want to say has the good or the bad intentions, but just that, you can or can't live with those demons, those inner demons you got within you that maybe you haven't resolved things from the past. And these are the times that you start to probably see some of these things in full effect. So.
Yeah, and I think going back
lost
to
my train of thought. He's jumping over here and
going back to like everything that's going on right now. I personally think it's a blessing in disguise. I think that this is the only time in our lifetime, and I hope it is, where we see a full global shutdown where you have to stay home. There is no FOMO. There's no fear of missing out because everybody else is also not doing
everybody's
anything.
on the same playing field at this point right now.
It's a level. It's a level playing field, but you can really use this time to see who you are, who you've been, and who you want to be when you come out of this. Because this is the one time where people really aren't going to see you for a long time. And if you say, you know what, I don't want to drink for a month, nobody can force you to do it. You can't be peer pressured to do it. And it's like, if you say, I want to start working out, like, you're not going to be at a gym where you're going to feel uncomfortable. You're going to be at home in the comfort of your home. Any changes that you want to create, you are in the comfort of your home. And it's the perfect time to do it because we have the time. I mean, for us, especially, like, we're still working, but we don't have all that driving time. Like, all that California traffic, wasted time, we don't have that anymore. So we have extra hours in the day to do more stuff, which is perfect because we were already fitting so much. It's like, well, now we have extra time. What else can we fit in? And now we're reading more, having more home cooked meals, sleeping in a little, which is nice.
We're taking on also our hobbies, everything that we were already doing, and we also are working with Immunotech. And a lot of you guys know about Immunotech. We actually had a meeting earlier, and we touched upon a little bit of redefining yourself. At every single moment, you can redefine the person you are. And this is the best moment, like she said, a blessing in disguise. This is the best moment to sit yourself down, reflect, see who you really want to be, who you've been, and make those changes. So when you come out of this, you've grown, you've become better, because at the end of the day, you want to become better every single day. Everything you do, you want to get better. If not, you're going backwards. It's not good. You either change or you die. And it's crazy. Sorry, a little graphic there, but
bad timing.
Bad timing. But no, that's redefining yourself and really changing who you want to be. This is the best moment for you to reset and come out of this the person that you want to be going forward. And it's possible. You have the resources, YouTube, Google, everything. You can read, you can work out, you can learn you can learn to be everything you want to be. You can play the guitar, and then whatever you want to do, you can do it. The resources are there.
Yeah, and I think, where he's saying, like, you can always change and become a different person. It's something that we call it, like, what is your brand? Like, what is your personal brand? And that was something that I was really touching on with the team, because, this whole time that we've been working with them, it was a lot of, just kind of being scattered all over the place. And that's also something that sometimes happens with us, where we're scattered all over the place and we don't even know where to focus our energy, and really figuring out who do we want to be as a person and focusing your energy on becoming that. Because you can always rebrand yourself. And something very cool that I was taught by a really good mentor of mine was you can always rebrand yourself, and it takes 6 months. So you were the party animal. I mean, we were party animals forever. We used to drink a ton. Like, people will know you as the life of the party. But if you decide to change that and you decide to become something else, if you become, the people that work out, the parents, whatever it is, it takes 6 months of you putting in the work before people forget who you used to be in the past. So it's actually really neat the way that it works, because I used to be like the nail girl for the longest time, and then I became the health girl. And it's like, you get to choose. I mean, who knows, later down the line, I may become something different.
Gian's mom.
But, hey, I'm still his mom.
Wait, you are.
But you always get to choose who you want to be. And it's being intentional about it. And I know you guys see me post it all the time, live life on purpose. It's being intentional with who you want to be. Like, don't accidentally become the person that does A, B, and C. Like, do it on purpose so that you feel like there's something behind what you're doing and you're rebranding. And what's nice about the rebranding is, it takes 21 days to build a habit, and it takes 90 days to build a lifestyle. Well, we have more than 21 days right now where we're still in quarantine. This is March 30th, 2020, and we are ordered until the end of April, which is April 30th, 2020. So we have four and a half weeks. I don't know how long that would be. 4 or 5 weeks. But you have at least your 21 days to build that new habit. So it's just taking the time, realizing and figuring out who you want to be. And it doesn't mean that it's set in stone. It doesn't mean that it's just one thing for the rest of your life. It means that you get to do something, start and finish. There's something about setting out to do something and actually doing it and executing that just, like, builds that willpower. And we've talked about it in the past, like building that willpower where you become the person of action, the person that does what they said. And that is really priceless. And it's something that you can start working on and developing now.
And for those of you quarantined in, with your spouses, your family, whatever it is, it goes also back to the teamwork thing where it's like you redefine yourself. You're going to create a new brand, a new person, whatever you want to call it. You're going to create something new now that can work alongside, your spouse. Like me and Zammy, like for a long time we didn't get along and we didn't work together, and it was you you cooked that, you wash it, like this. Not we just finished dinner and she cooked it up, and then while she was done, I quickly put everything away and I washed everything else. It's always doing the thing that's next, the next step that's needed, and always taking care of it. It's the same thing that when we started working out together, something that I put into action there was from Leaders in Transformation. They say the way you do one thing is the way you do everything in life. So when we started working out together, I started working out with her, and when I saw that she couldn't do a certain workout, then I gave it extra for that one, because we do teams workout sometimes, so teams of 2, and you have to do X amount of reps or whatever it is all together. So whatever she can't do, I do extra. Whatever I can do, she does extra. And that's how it's got to be in life all the time. You're just taking care of each other. You're in a partnership. Her weaknesses may be my strengths, and vice versa. And that's just something that you get to really acknowledge. And I think more than anything is acknowledge it and accept it in oneself, because I can be in denial about my weaknesses, and then I'm never going to get better on those weaknesses, or allow her to bring in her strengths to help me with those weaknesses. So it's being open, transparent, and working together.
And being honest with yourself, like you said, because I think a lot of times we like to pretend that we've got our shit together, or that we know how to do one thing, or that we know how to do another. But in reality, it's like, I know how to do it at 10% efficiency, where he knows how to do it at 110. Like, let me just let him do that piece so that I can focus on something else that I can do at 100, 110%. So it's knowing when you need to step down and let the other person step in, because there's a lot of ego involved there, where it's like, well, why can't I do it myself? Well, why, if you can be more efficient, if he does this and you do this? Where it gets to the point where you're okay, and sometimes I can perform better than he can if he's not having a good day or whatever the case. But being able to know each other to the point where it's okay and that ego doesn't get in the way. Like, how do you know if you have an ego? How do you know if that's really affecting your relationship? Shit, think of the last time that you guys got in a fight. How long did it take you to apologize? And that's when you know, like, how bad is your ego? If you can't apologize within the same argument, within that time frame, there's work there to be done. So really knowing what it is that's holding you guys back, or holding you from that synergy. Sometimes it's resentment. For me, it was a long time that I was super resentful towards him, and that didn't let us move forward. No. So it's just trying to figure out what it is, and working towards it. And sometimes it's literally just talking and saying, hey, you know what? I'm really upset about A, B, and C. I don't know why. A lot of times the things that upset you are a reflection of what's going on inside you, and has nothing to do with your partner. But it's very easy to blame it on them. So that's why we blame it on them. But it has a lot of work to do with you. So when you realize that, they help you. Now he just helps me analyze the situation, make the better choice, and move on. Where before it was like, let me blame it on him, let's start a fight, and now I give him the blame, and I can move on with my life, but it just doesn't let you grow as a partnership. And that really hurts the partnership too.
Yeah, definitely. And I mean, just how she was saying, just be open with yourself and stop being fucking selfish. At the end of the day, like, if you chose to be with somebody, you chose to be in partnership with somebody, then you've got to stop playing the just you game. This isn't a selfish game. And nobody's going to win if you keep playing that. So, yeah, just wrapping it up with a couple keys there.
Yeah, I think that's super important. If you got anything from this, is you made the choice. You made the choice to be with that person. Whether it was, because you got pregnant, because you wanted to leave the house,
because he was good looking,
because they made a lot of money, whatever it was, you made the choice at some point in your life that you wanted to be with that person.
So now make the choices that are going to make you succeed together, or make the choices that will end it there and you move along your own life. Whatever it is, life is a series of choices.
Everything's a choice. You get to choose what you want to do.
Do you remember how much you love me or what?
GianCarlo's speaking.
Oh man.
Anyway,
Unedited.
You get to choose. Yeah, these are unedited. You get to choose what you want to have next. Do you want to have the best 30 days from now until the end of quarantine? Or do you want to have the worst? I'm already hearing people, trying to kill each other. You get to decide what you want to create.
Make it your best April ever.
And I have a challenge for you guys. Next time you get into an argument, see how fast you can apologize. Even if it hurts right here, if it feels like it can't come out, say it. And you'll realize it's not as bad as you think it is.
Say it. Make fun of yourself. Laugh a little. It's not that
the best
serious.
thing ever. Yep, it's not that serious.
It's not that serious.
Now he laughs at how grumpy he is. I think it's today or no, yesterday. He's like, just leave me alone. I'm grumpy.
Today I was just like, just leave me alone. I'm grumpy. It's the morning. I'll get over it. Give me a minute. But I'm already aware of it and I'm laughing about it.
Once you point out your flaws, you can just make fun of it. He was just being grumpy and that's it. But anyway, work together.
Thank you so much. Have a good night. We are Team Sanchez and
Team Rocket.
Pokemon. No.
Team Rocket.
Have a good night. Thank you.